A major announcement was made Friday at the Kristen French Child Advocacy Center in St. Catharines. Premier Doug Ford was on hand to announce the investment of $307 million to combat human trafficking in the province.
So we're taking a stand today. We're putting the traffickers on notice. And we're taking a decisive action to crack down on this heinous crime. Enough is enough. Today, I'm proud to announce that our government is investing $307 million over 5 years. That's a tremendous amount, but as far as I'm concerned, it can never be enough. We're also going to take a hard look at the legislative tools we have available to put a stop to this crime. And we're going to develop a public awareness campaign to help parents and children protect themselves from those who seek to do them harm.
The strategy involves raising awareness, holding offenders accountable, protecting victims, and supporting survivors.
Well, as you can imagine, it's very traumatizing for the survivors. So first, the breaking away from the human trafficker is challenging, and for police, it can take multiple interventions and multiple conversations before that young girl or woman is ready to step aside. And then if we have a situation where they continue to be traumatized, where they continue to relive the experiences, very challenging. It's frankly why our strategy is a three-stool effect with multiple ministries. It's very important that we support the survivors through their entire pathway, but we also have to actually have enforcement in place, which is why, of course, the justice system is so important. Having those specialized crowns who understand the trauma that has been impacting.
During the announcement, Premier Ford had some strong words for the Trudeau government for what he sees as a lack of action on human trafficking and law and order in general.
And what's frustrating to all our police right across the province is all of a sudden you see these guys back on the street in a couple days. We have to, the message to the Prime Minister, and I'll be putting this message forward when I see him next week, let's get tough on crime once and for all. Let's throw the key away, put these nasty people in jail, and throw the key away. Simple. Until they can't hurt any other families.
Several roundtable discussions with human trafficking survivors were held in the lead up to today's announcement and helped provide the framework for this new strategy.
Well, when I was appointed last summer as Minister of Children and Women's Issues, number one thing on my mandate letter was human trafficking and developing a strategy to combat it. So we started with roundtables across the province, and we held 13. And it was amazing to see, the same similar issues that were happening across the province, but then in some areas geographical issues as well, such as provincial borders, the U.S.-Canada border. So we heard at those roundtables from frontline workers, from our emergency services people, from those with lived experience, and those truly were what the concerns we heard put together to develop this strategy.
Premier Ford mentioned some possible legislative steps that you might take in the future as well. What might those entail?
Well, we're actually going to be doing some consultations on legislative changes. So again, working with the partners to hear firsthand how we can be working together to make those changes that are better going to respond to the anti-human trafficking combating across the province.
Is the economy,
In Niagara, you're watching The Source.